ground or you're gonna get tased. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
So this TikToker's in some serious trouble. He goes by the name Icy, and Icy loves to flex on TikTok. Like, here he is proving his jewelry's real. Here he is showing off his car, his house, his outfit. You get the picture, right? He's that type of influencer. One day, Icy's out driving his pink Mercedes, stuck in traffic, when he ends up in a road rage situation with a couple of guys in other cars. Mainly this one guy we'll just call Joe because I have no clue what his actual name is. Joe and his buddy are chilling in a pickup truck, stuck in the same traffic jam. Meanwhile, Icy's out of his car, yelling at someone else, and Joe calls out to him like, "Dude, just get back in your car." Icy whips around to Joe like, "Hey, don't mess with me. I've got a pew-pew." Then, to top it off, he straight up throws his drink at Joe. Joe and his friend get out of their truck and they're pissed. Instead of getting back in his car and driving away like a normal person, Icy reaches into his glove compartment, pulls out his pew-pew, and points it right at them. Joe and his buddy are like, "All right, bro, chill," and they turn around to head back to their truck. But as they're walking away, Icy pistol whips Joe in the back of the head with the gun. Joe gets back in his truck, and he and his friend drive off. But Icy? Nope. He jumps in his car and chases them down. There's footage of it too. He swerves around them and cuts them off, and yeah, it's clear he's the one starting all this mess. Joe, still freaked out, calls 911.
This guy got out of his car and pistol with me with a gun.
Icy calls 911 too, but he spins a whole different story.
This truck came up and tried to cut me off, and then I had 4 guys jump out the car and say, "I'm gonna beat the f*** out of you," and all that stuff.
Minutes later, cops show up and talk to Joe, but Icy's already gone. He fled the scene. Later that night, police show up at Icy's house looking for him, and wouldn't you know it, he's pulling out of his driveway right then. Bam! Cops surround him with their pew-pews drawn. Icy's like, "Don't you know who I am?" The cops are like,
Put both of your hands out the window, kid. We're not with you.
and Icy is like,
I don't know who I am.
the cops are like,
Nope. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Do it now.
looks like Icy thought he was too TikTok famous to get arrested. Spoiler, he wasn't. They arrest him because, pistol whipping someone is illegal. They search his car, find the pew-pew, and of course, Icy denies everything. He's sitting in the back of the police car on the phone with his girlfriend.
Babe, I'm getting arrested because of those people that cut me off.
And I know what you're thinking. Wait, he has a girlfriend? Yep, he does. Police tell him, "You're under arrest. You can't be on your phone." Icy is like, "Are you serious? You can't take my phone. It's my personal property." The police responded, "You're under arrest. You don't get to have a phone." Then Icy said,
My phone, this is my possession, so now you're gonna be a thief? Now you're gonna be a thief.
then he starts the whole "I'm internet famous" rant again.
You don't see any problem with this. You don't see the problem that somebody with a bright pink car who is famous online gets with on the freeways all the time, and that's why I carry a gun. You don't even know what gun is the same gun that I hit with if I did. So you don't even know what gun was used in crime, but you want to sit here and act like I'm the criminal?
Still in the back of the car on his way to jail, Icy keeps arguing that he's the real victim, all because of his online fame. Bro, not everyone knows who you are.
I mean, not everybody knows who you are.
It doesn't matter. I have 58 million followers, baby girl. Everybody who's been on TikTok or Instagram is so who I am.
You can't assume that everybody knows who
I
you
don't
are.
assume that everybody knows who I am. I said a lot of people know who I am.
And for the record, I have no idea where he pulled that 58 million followers number from. His TikTok account doesn't seem to reflect that at all. But hey, who's really keeping track? So anyway, they bring him to the station and he keeps resisting arrest, all while trying to flex.
I'm about to take $30,000, $40,000 worth of jewelry without me knowing exactly where it's going.
And I'm going to write it on this form.
So go ahead and write it on the form.
No, I have to
bring it
know
to
what I
me.
have to put on it, so give me the jewelry.
You don't know what this jewelry is valued.
Wyatt, come on now. I don't.
You this to me the whole entire time in the car.
I've actually been so nice to you.
No,
You've been calling.
Get back in the car.
Let him take
They'll
his chance
figure it
to
out.
jail.
Okay. Oh, wait.
If they lose, they lose.
The whole ride in the car, he's going on and on. It's like, no, you've been calling. Get back in the car. Go figure it out. Okay. And then I guess he gets fed up because suddenly he's spewing insults at the cops.
You guys are so annoying. It's like a power trip. You guys didn't do good. You guys had no friends in school.
That's true. None.
You guys had no anybody thinking that you were cool. So
Tiger King, if you move your arm again,
Then they shove him into the back seat and he starts kicking at them.
Have a seat in the car. Hey!
there you go. Another charge right there.
So after all that, the cops finally arrest him. Here's his mugshot. He spends a few days in jail, then gets bailed out. Now at this point, he could lay low, stay quiet, and avoid trouble. But nope, that's not his style. He immediately jumps on TikTok and starts spinning his own version of events.
Guys, should I do a story time about how I got ripped out my Mercedes and my ass beat for trying to take my seatbelt off when they tell me to get out the car?
While he's out on bail, waiting for trial, he's still posting on TikTok, flexing like nothing happened, showing off jewelry, flaunting another Mercedes, flashing Louis Vuitton bags, buying his girlfriend a pricey purse, and waving around stacks of cash. Now, where does Icy get all this money from? Honestly, no clue. But if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably not rolling in it for real. My bet? He's drowning in debt, living off credit cards. Nobody with actual wealth flashes cash like that. It's a clear sign he's not handling his money right and is probably in way over his head. Anyway, his trial gets delayed. In the meantime, he's back to living it up until he gets into trouble again. Allegedly, he beefs with someone and ends up keying their car or something like that. Cops find out, his bond gets revoked, and bam, arrested again. And before heading back to jail, he decides to do whippets while live streaming on TikTok, like a send-off, I guess. He ends up back in jail, and a year later, his trial finally goes through. He's found guilty and gets slapped with a 5-year prison sentence. Since then, his girlfriend, who I guess is now his wife, seems to have completely taken over his TikTok. It looks like she's running all his socials now.
Hey y'all, so I have to come on here and tell you guys that obviously I'm not on drugs and I'm just sad and breaking out. I'm off birth control and I am not doing well.
Oh, and to top it off, Icy's mom, his biological mom, also posts on TikTok. Sometimes she hops on to talk about what a disaster he's become.
Are you a parent and have you raised an asshole? Because I am, and apparently that is exactly what I did.
Honestly, best of luck to all of them.